Hey there YouTube, WhiskeyCactus here, welcoming you back to our Heart of the Woods Let's Play. This is episode number 4, and last time we started wandering out into the heart of the woods in the middle of the night with Morgan, and things are getting a little creepy. So we're gonna go ahead and return and see what it is that's out here in the woods, because Tara says she saw something, and we've decided, against our better judgment, to go and investigate. And this will surely not end in death and disaster. But here we go. Tara breaks into a run, leaving Morgan and I behind in surprise. We exchange a look before Morgan runs off after her. I have no choice but to go too. The regret is almost instant. Cold knives pierce my lungs with each heavy breath. I'm not in the best shape to begin with, and the snow and boots don't make things any easier. The only consolation is that we're running in a straight line, so it won't be hard to follow our path back, she says. Every so often we pause to catch our breath. The pace is catching up to Tara, too, who has to fight to keep her smile on. Morgan seems unfazed by it all. I'm about 3 seconds away from demanding that we give up when I see it. Oh god. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's a light. There's a light in the woods. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Way off in the distance, too far to identify the source, is a light. It sparkles and glimmers like a star that fell to earth. I fall silent, the words stolen from my mouth. Then Tara points, stating what we already know. There it is! Buoyed by her second wind, Tara runs off again. This time Morgan and I are close behind. We follow the light, which sometimes blinks out, but soon reappears. I'm too focused on not slipping and falling to give much thought as to the source. There's no telling how long or how far we've been going. Somehow the light never seems to get any closer or farther away. And now we've totally lost our way back, by the way. It's like it's running from us. Hey, wait up! Tara yells out into the darkness. If whatever it is can understand her, it ignores her. Running is quickly becoming difficult. My lungs burn from the cold, and my breathing turns ragged after barely a minute. Tara pulls further and further ahead from Morgan and me, her one-track mind fixated on that light. Why aren't you recording anything, Maddie? After a bit longer, I hit my limit, and my pace slows back to a walk. Then I stop. I fold over hands on my knees. I fold my hands over my... I don't know. As I gasp for breath. Morgan crunches to a stop, just ahead, too, turning back towards me. Are you alright? I try to respond, but I'm breathing too heavily to be able to talk. I just wave my hand, gesturing for Morgan to go on ahead without me, but she doesn't. I wouldn't either. That's a bad idea. Are you sure? I force myself to stand and nod. I'm... fine. In the murk, Tara's become a disembodied light herself. Only the flashlight's glow visible. I watch it bounce to a halt, then slowly make its way back towards us. You guys give up too easily. How are you not dead? I haven't seen you run in years. It's because you never hit the gym with me. I don't know if she's joking or not. I'm too worn out to care. So what was that thing? Do you think it was your forest spirit? Morgan's eyes widen. You believe me? Tara shrugs. I'm considering it, at least. I mean, what else could it have been? Fairies. Morgan says it very nonchalantly. I side-eye Tara, who's very interested in her boots. The forest spirit doesn't really make a light like that, at least not that I'm aware of. Right, that makes sense. Doesn't it, Mads? It was probably someone from the village. But as I say it, I know how unlikely that is. The way the light seemed to always maintain a precise distance was unnatural. I can feel the seeds of doubt being sown in my heart. But it was definitely strange. Tara looks at me with more pride than a rainbow flag. Yeah, there you go. Hey, holy shit, that's practically canon in Maddie terms. I roll my eyes, but it's partially just for show. I'm curious at the very least. I wouldn't call myself a believer as much as Tara wishes. That's 2 strange things so far, which is 2 more than I expected when I boarded the train out here. It was strange. That's as much as I'll get. Yeah. What? A yawn overtakes me in the middle of speaking. Doesn't help the pain in my lungs. Oh, I guess it's past your bedtime, huh? Kick some snow at her and it bounces uselessly off her pants. The way we've been bantering with each other, it really does feel a bit more like old times. Make that 3 strange things on this trip so far. We should begin heading back anyway. We can't go much further in before I'd be lost, too. You still know where we are? Yes, of course. We'd be in trouble if not. She has a point. I got so caught up in chasing the light that I lost track of what direction we'd come from. I'll show you around more tomorrow. There's something you might like to see. Yeah, what is it? A surprise. We'll go tomorrow before it gets dark. It's a bit of a walk. Does it have to do with whatever that light was? I have no idea. It's possible. Story of my life. Okay, well, we'll call it quits for tonight and pick back up tomorrow. Yeah, I guess. That's fine by me. Great! She hops forward, then pauses. I guess you ought to lead the way. Morgan smiles as she does just that. Amazing that we didn't get lost in the woods. We're going to get lost in the woods, for sure. That is absolutely going to happen. It takes us only 15 minutes or so to reach the cabin. We must have added a lot of time to our trip with all the wandering we did. Morgan bids us farewell at the door, which I barely return before stumbling inside. I'm halfway out of my boots by the time Tara's inside. Guess you're not staying up late, then. I'm out like a light the second I hit the bed. Tara grins just briefly. Right. My hand is on the doorknob when Tara clears her throat. What's up? Hey, thanks for, chasing after that thing. I appreciate you playing along. What? Wait. Tara didn't actually see it? Hold on. Time the fuck out. Tara didn't see it, and we actually did see it. I don't know. That was weird. That was a very weird thing for her to say. Yeah, of course. Let's see what we find tomorrow. Right. Yeah. Right. Good night. Night. Wait, that was so weird. Why did she say that? It was such a weird thing to say. Did she not see the light? Thanks for playing along. I don't know. I quickly step in and then shut my bedroom door before Tara can say anything else. As I switch off the lights and crawl into... Maybe I'm just misinterpreting it, but that seemed really weird. As I switch off the lights and crawl into bed, I remember the end of the train ride here. I felt the same just now, standing there not knowing what to say. It would be so easy. I banished those thoughts from my mind and wrenched my eyes shut. There'll be time to worry about it tomorrow. I have time to think. We have a month. As I slowly drift off to sleep, the exhaustion that I feel winning out over the stress, the last thoughts I have are of dancing lights in the snow until somebody knocks on my window. No. Nobody knocks on my window. Thank God. We start to fall into a bit of a routine. Every day, Tara and I will get up and explore Eisenfeld or the surrounding area a bit. We never go too far into the forest, but just enough to set dramatic camera angles or to film some monologue segments for Tara. Once Morgan's done with work, she'll join us or show us around. Sometimes she brings her cat with her. Surprise, surprise, it still hasn't said a word. That cat can talk. 100% that cat can talk. She keeps promising it eventually will, though. Ever since the night we saw the light in the trees, we've hoped to encounter something equally mysterious or interesting. No such luck, though. Any sort of hope or excitement that I had, any bit of belief that I'd allowed myself to build up, has been squashed back down to resigned indifference. My trademark, I know. Well, at least she's self-aware. It took about a week of this before Morgan asked us to wait for her at the cabin, saying she was finally ready to show us that thing she mentioned. She still wasn't any more forthcoming with what it was, but over the week we'd known Morgan, I'd gotten a little more comfortable with the idea. If she was going to leave us in a shallow grave or something, she'd had plenty of opportunities to do that already. The heavy clouds overhead promise a darker night than the past few, and probably heavier snowfall. We won't be able to stay out very late. That's very convenient because we're totally not going to get trapped outside this time. Even with Morgan's guidance, the possibility of being caught in a snowstorm is hard to ignore. Tara paces back and forth outside as I linger in the doorway, trying to enjoy the warmth from the cabin for as long as I can. Finally, a fashionable 15 minutes late, I spot Morgan heading down the trail from the village towards us. Tara zips off to intercept her, and the two of them approach together. They're gonna bang. They are totally gonna bang. Hey, sorry I'm late. Work was a little busy tonight, but I'm not jealous because I'm gonna bang a ghost soon, so it's fine. No worries. Well, that answers one of the myths of Eisenfeld that I was curious about, whether or not anyone ever actually shops at Morgan's store. Oh dear. Tara bounces around between the two of us, raring to get going. Morgan smiles approvingly at her. So, you said you had something special planned for tonight, right? And also you were going to show us something in the woods. Hey. She spent the whole day trying to guess what it is. I think I've narrowed it down. It's either a crashed UFO, the Fountain of Youth, or Elvis. Those are the ones you narrowed it down to. Someday, Mads, it's gonna be Elvis, and you're gonna wish you'd believed me. I face Morgan, pointedly turning my back to Tara. Anyway, we're ready to go if you are. Do you both have flashlights? We're going to be heading a bit deeper into the woods this time. We both hold up our lights in unison. After our first venture into the forest together, there's no way I'm ever going out there without us each having a flashlight. Just having one makes me feel more self-reliant. It helps suppress my anxiety a little bit. Just a little. Great, follow me. We circle back around the cabin and head into the woods. Here we go. Here's where the death happens. I've been waiting to show you two this since you got here. You're going to love it. Tara starts to vibrate again, clearly soaking up the suspense. As much as I hate to admit it, she's got me pretty curious too. I'm not sure what she could be keeping secret out here, and for so long. This isn't going to be dangerous or anything, right? Probably not. I like those odds. Oh god, what's going to happen? We set off at a fairly brisk pace. Tara makes it a point to walk right by Morgan's side, taking short and hurried strides. If she doesn't find out where she's going soon, I'm pretty sure she might actually explode. Okay, I'm going to keep guessing. Ancient graveyard, fairy circle, satanic ritual, Sasquatch den? Close. It's a church. Oh. Tara stops dead in her tracks. Wait, church? Was Maddie right when she said you were gonna try to get us to join a cult? I never said that. I might have said that. Jesus. Despite our antics, Morgan never stops or slows down. Nothing like that, I promise. It's really old, older than any of the buildings you've seen in Eisenfeld. The people who built it are ancestors of the residents today. I guess they were what you'd consider pagans. They worshipped a god of the forest. Wow. I expect more to the story, but that seems to be Morgan's stopping point for now. She focuses on the path instead, swinging her lantern around in an arc as she looks for whatever it is that's telling her where to go. Every single tree around me looks identical, but I guess one of them is a little more special than the rest. When she sees whichever one that is, she starts to lead us on again. Okay. It's a little creepy. My glasses start fogging up a bit a bit more as we walk. I should have insisted that Tara layer up a bit more. I'd be a pretty crappy friend if I let her freeze to death out here. So, to summarize, your great-great-whatevers and the rest of the villagers built an old church out in the forest to worship a giant forest spirit, and that's what we're going to see right now. Right. Have I mentioned that this is going to be the best episode of the show ever? Morgan's got Tara hanging on to every word, hook, line, and sinker. I'm glad she's having a good time, at least. No thanks to me. He said it's older than the rest of the village. Do you know about how old? Centuries, at least. I don't know how many. I've done some research on the history of Eisenfeld, but none of the books really mention it. How'd you learn about it, then? A lot of it comes from old journals or other documents left behind by the people who used to live here. Parts of it are passed down as family legends, too. The image of Evelyn and Morgan sitting cozily by a fire while Evelyn tells stories is one that I can't imagine actually happened. I'm not going to pry into the details of that, though. You think we could take a look at those journals sometime? Maybe we could show them off on the show. Authentic first-hand accounts, or something like that. For some reason, now Morgan stops, looking ponderous. I also realize that it's starting to snow. Just Barely, but enough to make me bite my lip and watch the sky. I'd be happy to show you. Score! You're seriously the best. Like, thanks for doing all this. It's nothing, really. Don't all your hosts do the same? A lot of them only stick around for the first day or two. Then once they realize there's a lot of filming and setting up behind the scenes, they get bored. For all her issues, I can't deny that Morgan's been much more gracious and helpful host than we're used to. We walk in silence for a little bit. All the while, the snow continues to fall, getting heavier and heavier. At first, I try to ignore it, but it's hard. Like always, it seems it'll fall to me to be the responsible one. Hey, Morgan? Are you sure it's safe to keep going? It's starting to snow pretty hard. Both of them look up as if they hadn't noticed. Oh, you're right. Now it's Morgan who turns around and looks back the way we came. I can practically hear the gears turning in her head. Tara watches, looking anxious. Oh, so she only worries if Morgan starts to look uncomfortable. It's going to get pretty bad soon. She says it so matter-of-factly that at first the severity of her words does. Okay, we're gonna try this one again. She says it so matter-of-factly that at first the severity of her words doesn't register. Then every single alarm bell in my head starts ringing. In case you missed the name of that song, it's No Escape. Okay, we're gonna die. We're gonna fucking die. What? How soon is pretty soon, and how bad? I'd say within the next half hour. Those clouds don't look good. That's an understatement. They seem to be moving almost impossibly fast, just like that. The weather has gone from a light snow to the start of a blizzard. Oh shit, we're gonna have to go find that fucking church and lay low in there for a while, I think. We need to turn back then, back to the cabin. Take a couple of steps, but the fresh snow has made it harder to walk. Even the trail that we just left has been partially obscured. We're closer to the church than the cabin. I think we should go there and wait it out. Oh, this is bad. This is so bad. We're going to die. Wait it out? What if it doesn't just pass by? What if we're stuck there for days? It's better than being dead, you know. I turn to her in disbelief. No shit it is. Morgan wrings her hands, looking genuinely distressed. I don't know what's going on. I don't think it was... Once again, she looks back in the direction we came from, lost in thought. We're just wasting time standing out here arguing, you know. Morgan said we should go to the church, and she's the expert. I'm loath to call her an expert at this point, but Tara's right that we don't have time to spare. We're definitely in dire straits if she's the one being the voice of reason. Fine, let's get going then. Caught out in the snow. Gonna go to an old church and get killed. We don't waste any more energy on talking, we just follow Morgan as closely as we can. The light from her bounces in the wind, reminiscent of the light we followed just a few short days ago. I focus on it, using it as a beacon since it's easier to keep track of than Morgan herself. I bury my face into my scarf as much as I can, feeling the wind push against me and making it harder to walk. By now, the world around us is starting to grow more and more blurry. There'll be a whiteout before long. My heart beats hard in my chest as my anxiety starts to skyrocket. We keep walking, huddling closer together as we press on. Tara keeps a brave face, but she's shuddering more with each step. Morgan and I push a little closer to her, hoping to help shield her from the wind as much as we can. When we get back, if we get back, I'm not letting her take another step outside until she agrees to start wearing something warmer. After what feels like years, we come to a stop. My legs are leaden with the effort of marching through the snow. I'm afraid that Morgan's going to say that we're lost, but then I realize that we've arrived. Just ahead, a huge stone building stands tall. For its supposed age, it looks remarkably intact. The howling winds buffet it, but even from here it looks infinitely safer than being stuck out here. A pair of massive wooden doors loom before us. Just give me 1 second and I'll get this open. She grabs hold of a door and starts to pull. The freezing wind works against her, and for a tense moment, I worry that she won't be able to get them open. But then, with a creak that's audible even in this weather, they slide open to let us in. After you. We don't need telling twice. Tara and I hurry inside, with Morgan letting the door slam shut behind her as she follows. The first thing that strikes me is the temperature. An old stone building in the middle of a blizzard should be frigid, but it's not. In fact, it's almost warm. Excuse me. Mads, we hit the jackpot. Her shout reverberates around the massive chamber, leaving a faint echo in its wake. When Morgan said a church, I figured it would be some small wooden shack with a tacked-on steeple, but this is a fucking church, man. A haunted church. I mean, a totally not haunted church. Tara's flashlight beam dances wildly along the walls as she spins in circles, trying to take in every last detail all at once. Are we filming this? We should totally be filming this. This is nothing short of incredible. I let my light drift as well, but slowly enough I can actually take the time to process what I'm seeing. The whole interior is remarkably well preserved. A few broken pews, a couple of pieces of collapsed stone, and a layer of dust on nearly every surface are the only things that make the place seem anything less new. Looking closer at the building itself, I can see various flourishes or designs decorating the walls and railings. Whoever built this place, they built it as a labor of love. The centerpiece is a massive, stained glass window that dominates the center of the far wall. Its brilliant colors form an intricate pattern. I make my way over to Morgan, who's currently watching Tara dart around the building with a small, satisfied smile. It dissipates as I approach. Even though I'm relieved to be out of the storm, I can't believe we ended up in this situation in the first place. Before I can say anything, though, she beats me to it. I'm really sorry about this. I truly am. If I'd thought the weather would turn so foul, I'd have never suggested we come out here. The last thing I want to do is place you and Tara in any danger. I just wanted to show the two of you something tangible. Something different. I swallow my harsh words. Chastising her wouldn't do us any good. Plus, she's right that the weather changed way faster than I would have expected, or even thought possible. So I just rub my shoulders, trying to massage some warmth back into them. Don't apologize yet. There's still plenty of time for us to die of starvation or something like that. I think it's more likely that we die of exposure first. Great! That makes me feel a lot better. Well, that's reassuring. Suddenly, a beam of light swipes across my face. It comes from Tara, thank God, on the other side of the building. Hey, come check out these bucks! Morgan and I both start to head over. By the way, how do you keep it so warm in here? I was looking for a heater or something, but I couldn't find one. It's magic, I think. You know what? I'm not even gonna argue. Tara's waiting excitedly next to a stack of books. That's probably a first. Check it out. The wooden shelves are warped and damaged beyond repair, but still have retained their shape pretty well. The books that line them are in a similar condition. When I remove one, its once soft cover is cold and rigid, and the text has faded into the text has faded into illegibility. But flipping through the pages, one of them are still readable. A few of them. Welcome to a WhiskeyCactus visual novel. Let's play. And the text has faded into illegibility, but flipping through the pages, a few of them are still readable. Unlike this fucking sentence. Or at least would be if I could understand the language. Tell me these aren't filled with ancient incantations or something. These aren't filled with ancient incantations. She holds up a book to her face and blows a puff of air towards me, filling my face with dust. I wrinkle my nose, coughing and spluttering. Hey, what the hell? You don't know what's floating around in here. I could have just inhaled dead person. You're literally the only person alive who could be in a haunted church and not care at all. She never said it was haunted, you know. And I'm sorry that I'm still a bit too shaken up over, almost dying in a snowstorm. Psh, we weren't ever in any real danger, I'm sure. Isn't that right, Morgan? Actually, I wasn't sure we were going to make it here. Oh. Tara's eyes widen, the reality of the situation hitting her at last. Yeah, we're gonna be trapped in here, by the way. Then she grins. That makes this an even more badass story for the vlog. Mads, you'll have to go hard on the wind sound effects. Maybe we should set the camera outside, get some footage of the blizzard. She hurries over to where I'd abandoned the camera on one of the pews and picks it up, dancing around as she frames mock shots. I open my mouth to tell her how dumb that is when a trickle of dust spirals past me. The whole church shakes with a slight tremor and more dust is displaced. Earthquake? that would be the icing on this cake. It would also be horrifically ironic if we survived the blizzard only to die in a freak earthquake. Something tells me that's not what this is, though. There's another tremor, slightly stronger this time, and with it a distant boom, like someone shooting a cannon in the forest. The three of us exchange a glance silently. For once, even Tara is silent. Boom. The stained glass window rattles. I hear Morgan suck in a breath. When I look at her, her eyes are wild and confused. Oh god. Oh god. The thunderous sound is getting closer. Then there's another sound, a blistering crack that I recognize as a tree splintering. Oh shit! No winds, no matter how strong, should be able to do that. Well, that's not true. Winds can very easily splinter a tree. Wordlessly, Tara heads over to the front doors. Though my first instinct is to call her back to what I hope is safety, I find myself more curious than afraid. I have to know what it is. I have to see it. Morgan lingers behind us, unsure of what to say or do. Tara reaches the doors and presses her shoulder against it. She pushes the door open just a crack, or at least she tries to. But the terrifying wind catches and rips the door all the way open as if presenting the scene before us. I struggle to comprehend what I'm seeing. Taller than even than the trees, stands what I can only describe as a monster. Well, fuck. That's horrifying. Two enormous, luminous red eyes peer out across the black expanse of the night sky. Neither the howling wind nor the biting snow seem to affect it at all. Oh my god. That's not possible. This can't be happening. This can't be real. My legs are about to collapse under me. My heart drops like a rock in my chest, and every heartbeat sends a rush of blood through my body, so strong it drowns out the cacophonous storm. Tara fumbles with the camera, her hands shaking violently. Cursing, trembling, she struggles to lift it up to her face, repeatedly losing her grip as she tries to focus on the thing in front of us. I don't know how she can even have the presence of mind to do that. My thoughts are a blur as my mind does its best to process what I'm seeing. It's like the forest itself come to life. Like a whole mass of trees just uprooted themselves from the ground to form something that can't possibly exist. Branches twist and contort into each other. One tree splits into 10, wood rotting into decay and growing anew again, spins from the impossible red center. Two immense horns pierce the sky, looking like lightning bolts permanently imprinted against the clouds. Every thought that I can manage to form is fleeting. Every rational part of me tells me that what I'm seeing shouldn't exist, that it isn't possible. Yet here it is. Undeniable. I don't know why that's in red. All I can do is stare. The red glows brightly, burning my eyes, like it's staring right back at me. Maybe it is. The beast shuffles forward, its feet obscured by the forest below. With each movement, there's another massive echo. Trees crackle and snap beneath its immense weight like twigs, flattened to nothing and buried under the snowfall. God damn. That's horrifying. Yes. Slowly the beast lumbers off into the night and is swallowed from sight by the darkness. Soon even the sounds of its footsteps fade, too. Not sure how long Tara and I remain in petrified silence. I realize that I've fallen to my knees, though I have no recollection of it happening. I feel like I have no recollection of anything, that nothing will ever make sense again. At some point, Morgan comes to my side, helping Tara and I back indoors. My whole body is numb with either shock or the cold, perhaps both. She leads us to one of the benches that's mostly intact. I collapse down onto it, my legs still unwilling to support me. I glance at Tara. All the color is gone from her face, and she's still trembling. I probably don't look much better. For a long time, none of us know what to say. We sit and wait until long after the snow has stopped falling and morning arrives. Oh, it's morning. Oh, we're in Chapter 2! Chapter 2, okay. I don't say a word on the way back to the cabin. How can I? How do you vocalize the knowledge that your core understanding of the world just turned out to be wrong? Feels like the ground beneath my feet dropped out from under me. My steps are unsteady and I feel nausea coming up like waves. My head pounds hard. I've always prided myself on my healthy skepticism, but I can't deny what's right in front of me. My thoughts scramble to find some way to explain it, some way that I can piece it together in a way that I can understand. But it's hopeless. Tara is still struck mute. I'd expect her to be bouncing off the walls, to be unable to calm down after all. This is what she's been after for years. Ever since we started the show, ever since she first had the idea for the show. Now that we've finally actually found something, neither of us know how to react. It's because deep down, neither one of us actually thought shit was real. She keeps playing the short clip she recorded over and over again, watching it until the battery runs dry. A lot of it is unusable due to the snow and her shaky hands. There are still a few seconds of clear, uninterrupted footage. Her ratings are gonna go off the charts. We're gonna have to prepare for endless barrages of questions and accusations of doctoring the footage. This will mean interviews, national news, maybe even a book deal. Nothing will ever be the same again. Unless we pretend it never happened. But all we can manage is silence. Morgan's the only one who seems somewhat calm, though even she's a bit shaken. She's the one who coaxes us to leave the church and start heading back to town. Fuck that. Where is that thing, and is it gonna come creeping up again? It's the obvious thing to do, yet somehow the suggestion sounds like a crazy idea that I would have never come up with myself. All of my thoughts are mush. If it weren't for Morgan, I'm sure Tara and I would both end up wandering the woods in total shock. I can barely manage a slow stumble as I follow from way behind. Thick, fresh snow impedes the path. The blizzard subsided, but the harsh winds bite at my exposed skin. It all feels like too much. Maddie, are you okay? It takes me a few seconds to even register her voice, and a few more to realize she's looking back at me with genuine concern. Yeah, I'm fine. My brain screams to ask for help, and my body feels moments away from collapsing, but what kind of help could she give me? I can only focus on reaching our destination. Morgan looks like she wants to respond, but instead resumes her trek forward, this time moving at a somewhat slower pace. Well, there's the fucking cabin. Oh shit. Get me the fuck inside. After a while, the faintest light in the distance comes into view. The cabin. Our light, our refuge in the darkness. Tara's pace quickens to a near sprint, like she'd been waiting for this moment. She rushes and crosses the distance, disappearing inside. Morgan walks alongside me. She opens the door, following inside behind me. I feel a sudden pang of guilt over how much I've disregarded her before now. Doesn't seem so crazy anymore, huh? Especially since she was actually right. That must have been the forest spirit that the church was there to worship, I guess. I was thinking like a little, like, fairy thing, but that was a fucking big-ass deer monster. As soon as I reach the couch, my legs give out from under me, and I fall onto it like a ton of bricks. I would not feel safe in this fucking cabin ever again, knowing that thing's out there. It isn't until I hit the cushions that I realize I nearly crushed Tara, who has already collapsed next to me. Sorry. She doesn't say anything. She might not have noticed. I thought that getting back to the cabin in safety would renew her enthusiasm. She should be running circles around me, screaming, "I told you so." Everything about her whole existence has just been validated. But she's just looking down at the ground without saying a word. Her bangs obscure her eyes, making her face unreadable. Her chest rises and falls in an odd rhythm. Then I realize that, just like me, she's still trembling. The monster's silhouette flashes through my head again, huge and terrifying, the red lights shining down to the very center of my being. Here, this will help. She sets 2 glasses of water down on the table in front of us. If that's just water, I don't think that's gonna help. I need some vodka. I didn't even register her coming over here. Tara clears her throat and leans forward. Thanks. Seriously. They're the first words that she's spoken in what feels like hours. She manages a small sip, but most of it dribbles down her shirt. I don't even reach for my glass, knowing that my hands are just as shaky, if not more. My entire worldview was shattered. It's going to take more than just a walk in the snow and a glass of tap water for everything to sink in. How are you not freaking out? Have you seen that thing before? No, that was my first time as well. She doesn't answer the other part of my question. Tara continues to slowly drink her glass of water, while mine remains untouched. At some point, Morgan goes into the kitchen and prepares a pot of coffee. I can hear her rummage around in the fridge, and smell the coffee as it brews, but neither register beyond a cursory awareness. What does get my attention is when she sets 2 steaming mugs down in front of us, hot coffee sloshing over onto her hands. Drink this. It'll help. I do as I'm told, lapping at the brew since it's too hot to sip. Tara does the same. Morgan sits beside her on the couch, draining her own mug much faster than we do as she gazes out the window. By the time I'm about halfway through my own, I do feel a bit better. Whether that's because of the warmth, the caffeine, or just the placebo effect, I'm not sure. Once we're finished, we just lapse back into preoccupied silence. Yet again, it's Morgan who breaks it. I think the 2 of you should take some time to relax. I need to get home soon, too, before I arouse too much suspicion. Does that work for you? I looked at Tara, who doesn't seem to have even heard what Morgan said. Yeah, it sounds fine. The more that I think about it, the more appealing it sounds. Right now, I want nothing more than to curl up in my bed, cocoon myself in blankets, and sleep for a while. Until that thing comes knocking on your window. Okay, I'll see you later then. Never one for long goodbyes, Morgan heads straight for the door. I'll message you soon. And by message, I mean knock on your window. She leaves before either of us can respond. We sit. And sit. I don't know for how long. Longer than I've ever seen Tara sit still. It's getting really dark. I just don't know what else to do. It's real dark now, it's black. Okay. As much as I'd like to, I know we can't just sit here forever. The knowledge that we'll soon have to return to mundane, everyday things feels unreal. We just witnessed something magical and life-changing. How could we just go back to normal life? But I know that in truth, the world hasn't changed at all, just our knowledge of it. No matter how long we wait, the outside world will continue to pass us by. Feels like an eternity passes, but Tara's voice breaks through the silence. I'm not sure if I fell asleep or not, but I react with a start and my heart beats 100 miles an hour. So, what do you think? About which part? There's a lot to take in. Yeah. About all of it, or any of it. While she sits, she idly pulls on a loose thread from a blanket close by. She pulls and pulls and unravels even further. I don't think she notices she's doing it. I think the main thing is that I wonder what else is out there now. Not just in the forest, but in the whole world. Are there more of those things? Or is it the only one of its kind, and how did no one ever see it before? There's just so much that I don't know how or what to feel. What about you? Again, she shrugs. The same, pretty much. There's no way you're gonna get that BooTube award now, you know. Or there's no way you're not gonna get that BooTube award now, you know. It's a surefire joke. It should be an easy smile, but she doesn't react at all. Probably not. I think I'm gonna crash. Good night, Mads. Just like Morgan, she gets up and leaves without even giving me time to reply. There's barely 5 seconds between her saying it and her bedroom door slamming shut behind her. It's not at all the kind of response I'd expect from Tara, but these are far from normal circumstances. All that I can do now is wait, for her or for Morgan. Wait and wonder. Oh god. Well, this got really weird really fast. After a late night spent researching, I awaken around 11 in the morning, a good 2 or 3 hours later than I usually get up. Get dressed in a hurry, not wanting to keep Tara waiting before we head into town. Would be a pretty ironic twist, though, since usually I'm the one who has to wait for her to get ready after late nights. I have a sheaf of notes that I took, and a hand cramp to match. Not sure how useful all of it will be, but it's at least a starting point. Tara's good at seeing the hidden connections and putting pieces together, too. It makes for entertaining videos, even without results. Out in the living room, a lukewarm pot of coffee and a used mug are the only indication that she's awake. Hey, I'm up now. Slept in a little. I'll be ready to go in a sec. I call out from the kitchen, preparing my own cup of coffee. She doesn't respond. I wonder if she can't hear me with the door closed. I go and knock on the door, being careful not to spill any coffee on myself. No response. I knock again, louder. Most likely she has her headphones in. That or she fell back asleep. You ready? I'm good to go. I have a bunch of notes and research, too. Maybe we could go over some of it with Morgan. Silence. She's not that heavy of a sleeper. I knock again, even harder, but she still doesn't answer. Jiggle the doorknob a bit. Turns easily. I open the door slowly, giving her ample time to yell and interrupt me. But she doesn't. Her room is empty. She left without me. I let go of my carefully arranged papers, suddenly not really caring that much about them as they fluttered to the floor. My hand shakes, hard enough for coffee to spill out of the mug and staining the pages below. So that's how it is. Whatever it is. I swallowed the lump in my throat, forcing myself not to overreact. Maybe she tried to wake me up and I slept through it, or maybe she just went out for a walk and will be back soon, so that we can go into town. There are 100 different benign scenarios for what could have happened, but in my heart, I know that she ditched me, plain and simple. I go to the sink and dump out the coffee, my appetite suddenly gone. Then I pick up the papers that I dropped. A few are ruined beyond legibility from the coffee, but it's not like anyone will miss them. Throw them in the trash, along with the sodden paper towels that I used to clean up the spill. I gather the rest of the papers into a pile and leave them on the kitchen counter. Throwing them away feels like a waste, but I don't really want to look at them right now. I retreat back to my room and slam the door, even though there's no one around to hear it. Put on a film at random, and for background noise more than anything. My thoughts start to wander before the opening credits are even finished. What exactly was it that I did that upset Tara so much? Before Morgan took us to the church, things were fine between us, if not a bit tense. But I was working on my attitude, and she didn't seem bothered. And since seeing the monster, both of us had said so little. So I'm just left wondering what I did wrong. I wish that she would talk to me and at least help me understand. Maybe she didn't storm out. Maybe she was fucking kidnapped. I'm about 15 minutes into the film before I realize that I have the French audio track playing without subtitles and that I haven't understood a word of it. Close my laptop and stare blankly at the wall, since that's the only thing I can do and not mess up right now. It isn't long before I can hear the crunching of 2 pairs of footsteps outside, as well as the low murmur of conversation. Front door bursts open, and from my room I can hear the din of Tara entering. Gotta be related to the stuff in the journals. There's no way they're not talking about the same thing. Just send all those pics to my email address when you can. This is gonna be so freaking good. Sure thing. I sit paralyzed in my bed. Should I ignore them? Go out and act like nothing's out of the ordinary? Part of me wants to just hide in my room, but the way Tara and I have always gotten over our arguments is by being open about our issues. Plus, Tara would know that I'm at the cabin, so if she brought Morgan back here, I doubt she's trying to avoid me. Maybe they came back specifically to include me. Hoping for the best, I head out into the living room. Tara's brewing a pot of coffee, while Morgan leans against the counter. A few books that she must have brought from home are stacked beside her. She glances up as I enter. Hey, Maddie. Hey there. Tara nods without facing me. What are the books? I nod at the stack. Tara sets 2 cups of coffee in front of her and Morgan and slides the books toward herself. They're the journals she mentioned on the walk to the church. She was letting me take a look at them. She puts an emphasis on the word me, like she's the only one who's allowed to. Maybe that's the case. This isn't off to a great start. I see you've picked up a coffee habit, too. Morgan's really rubbed off on you. Not yet. Yeah. She turns to face Morgan, being sure to exclude me from what she says. Okay, we can chill in my room. Might want to grab one of the spare chairs from out here. Oh, okay. It's a small consolation, but I can tell that even Morgan feels a little uncomfortable with the situation. Or just uncomfortable with the situation. She gives me a sympathetic look, but doesn't say anything. Just why is Tara acting like this? If she would just tell me, we could work it out. I stick out an arm, halting Morgan as she carries the chair across the cabin. Tara, can I talk to you for a sec? Oh shit. Oh shit. The two of them exchange a look, but I can't tell what that's supposed to mean. Then she shrugs. I gesture toward my room, and she follows me in. I shut the door. Can you please, tell me why you're mad at me? I'm not mad at you. I scoff. Whatever you want to do treating me like this. Like what? I can already feel myself starting to get angry, but I try to keep it under control. Please don't play dumb like that. You barely talked to me for 3 days, you ditched me this morning, and now you're going out of your way to exclude me. I don't know how to interpret that as anything other than mad. I have no idea what I said or did to piss you off, so I don't even know what to apologize for. Tara runs a hand through her hair. Full disclosure, this is 4th of July, and so all these stoppages that I'm doing here are because there's firecrackers going off outside my window. So I apologize for that, but I've probably cut a good chunk of that out. Anyway, Tara runs a hand through her hair and looks around my room. It's the first time she's been in here since we arrived in Eisenfeld. It's more or less a carbon copy of hers, so I don't know what's so interesting about it. I'm not mad. I'm just not wasting your time with this stuff anymore. I can take it from here. Not quite sure I heard her right. Sorry, what? I said I can take it from here. Take what exactly? The vid. I mean, you're quitting anyway, so I've got to learn how to do this all on my own, right? But that's not... I don't even know what to say to that. Why not ask me at least, or even tell me? That's so screwed up. How do you figure? Every day since we've got here, you've talked about... Wait. Every day since we've got here, you've talked about, or at least shown, how you don't want to be here. You even said it yourself. You had to make an effort to be less bitchy whenever we go out. So now that there's a solid lead, I can figure out the rest of it myself. Or at least with Morgan's help. If you want, I can buy you an early train ticket home or something. Next one should be coming through in a day or two. You don't have to keep pretending to care. The whole time, her tone never changes. It's flat and emotionless. I wonder if that's another result of Morgan's influence. I wait, expecting there to be more, hoping that there's more. There isn't. Stand there, dumbfounded. Tara shrugs again, then leaves, closing my bedroom door behind her. Okay, sorry about that. Let's get those journals. I can still hear her talking to Morgan through the wall, bright and chipper. My legs feel weak all of a sudden, and I collapse into my bed. Through everything, my own misgivings and concerns about my future, choosing to quit the show and telling Tara about it, and even witnessing the monster at the church, I've managed to keep my composure. But for the first time in I don't know how long, I can't stop it any longer. I cry. All of this feels so unfair. Of course I didn't want to be here. It's been a waste of time every single other time. I get it. I was the skeptic, the non-believer, the only humoring her in all her exploits and playing as her foil. I rained on her parade constantly. And now after everything that's happened, she was right. I can't deny that, but why does that mean I don't deserve to be involved with it now? Maybe she took my leaving personally, even though I swore that wasn't the case. I was only doing what was right for me. I needed to move on and do something with my life. So is it really my fault that... Is it really my fault that... What? Is it really my fault that meant I had to stop... Is it really my fault that meant I had to stop playing around with paranormal stuff? Damn. After these past couple days, I was even starting to reconsider that. Maybe staying on the show wouldn't be so bad. Once the episode goes live, everything will be changing. Now I don't feel like that's an option, like she'd even want me there anymore. I feel like everything in my life has changed in just a few short days. Like I'm lost at sea without anything to hold on to. My best friend in the whole world is at the epicenter of it all, and I'm thousands of miles from home. Through the walls, I can faintly hear the sound of Morgan and Tara discussing whatever it is. Not nearly loud enough for me to make out any words, but enough to be reminded of my exclusion. Wonder if Tara knows how upset I am, or if she expected me to be grateful. Neither would surprise me. I cry until my eyes are dry and sore, but I don't feel any better. The walls of my bedroom feel claustrophobic, and the vague sounds of Tara talking is insufferable. I hurriedly bundle up and slip out of my bedroom and out the cabin to get some fresh air. The cold is just barely more manageable today, but it's still preferable to the atmosphere inside. It stings my wet cheeks, burning reminders of my unhappiness. Pick a direction at random and start heading into the forest. As long as I don't make any twists or turns and just go in a straight line, I won't be able to get lost. Alright guys, well I think this is a pretty good spot to go ahead and end off today's episode, so thank you guys so much for watching. Let's go ahead and do a save, and I want to jump over here to page 2. And we will save here. So if you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. And make sure you're subscribed for more Heart of the Woods, guys. Next time, Maddie is heading off into the woods by herself. And it is daytime, so maybe crazy things aren't going to happen. But I have a feeling some crazy things might happen. So things are getting kind of real. There was no real indication that Tara was going to get, like, crazy like that, but, it's very interesting, so, we'll see. I know that, you know, Maddie is the main character. I don't know what role Tara really has in the long run, but it'll be interesting to see how this relationship pans out. So, I hope you're excited for that. I don't know exactly what we're going to run into in the next episode, but, You know, I think maybe some magic and some ghosts and some stuff might be coming up. So I hope you're excited. I know I am. I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.